An incredible new set of DC Comics maquette statues by Tweeterhead Collectibles has just been revealed. These feature none other than the Bat and the Cat available in both 1/6 and quarter scale statues. So let's take a closer look and see what Gotham's most notorious power couple has to offer. Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be diving into the new pair of Batman and Catwoman statues produced by Tweeterhead Collectibles. So these are my cat statues that feature both of them in their more classic costumes and will be released separately in two available sizes. Now Batman will be in his black and gray costume, while Selena will be in her standard, very well-known black leather outfit. And as you can see from a first look perspective, these two statues are just incredible. They look very well done in terms of details and their respective dynamic action poses. I also like how Tweeterhead really designed them to be companion pieces amongst other statues that you may have. And those gargoyle bases, guys, they look absolutely amazing. I really love the details, which we'll look more into the video shortly. So let's get more into details and see what each of these have to offer. So first, we'll dive into Batman and sort of check out his dimensions, right? He stands at about 19.7 inches and weighs a little over 3 pounds, made of poly resin. Now, there is also a 1/4 scale version that is obviously slightly larger than this as well. Otherwise, they do look exactly alike and the same in terms of their designs and details. Right now, as you can see in a picture here, Bruce does come with an additional portrait accessory, which will allow you to change his cowl's bat ears, right? It's not really much in terms of interchangeable pieces, but at least Twitterhead gives you something. I would have liked them to, though, have maybe seen a different weapon in his hand as an additional accessory. Maybe something that can be taken out of utility belt, like the grappling hook, or maybe a pair of smoke bombs. But again, at least they give you something in terms of alternate options, which is always a good thing to have, right? Now, look into the design itself. Tweeterhead really pulled off a great Dark Knight classic suit, in my opinion, right? First and foremost, I just love the action pose that he's in, right? It's a very common pose of him that you see a lot, with him tossing around his batarangs, which is awesome. Again, I would have liked them to have added an additional accessory. Maybe here they could have added multiple batarangs in one hand versus just one, or maybe a one in each, right? But I do appreciate this classic pose because it's one of his most known dynamic action poses. Overall, the entire outfit looks great. If you take a look at the gloves, the boots, and the belt, all look great. His utility belt does look a little too large to me, though, in terms of scale. I mean, although it's typically how it looked in the classic comics and lore draw-ups, at least in this model, it still feels a little too large. So I would have liked them to make it a little slightly smaller. Otherwise, I do like the positioning of the belt and where it sits, and also that the cape itself and the flow of the cape look amazing, right? Now, in terms of the details of the statue itself, and the pen applications look great, right? I like how it's been applied well throughout the entire sculpture, right? Also, if you take a closer look at the dark tones, the black itself, it doesn't look muted and shines very well. The gray also has a nice tint to it and feels more like a vibrant dark gray than a flat and or muted dark gray, which is good. His actual outfit has incredible lines and cuts all through the model. If you take a close look at his shoulder, his chest, and leg area, all look great. There's not any real wasted flat sculpting throughout his body. And although he's in his classic underwear look, it doesn't feel cheesy, right? It looks like it's dressed seamlessly and fits the overall classic look here. So that's a really great job by Tweeterhead. And I really like the cape, right? Obviously, him along with Superman are really known for the capes. But here, the length of it is good, and it has really good dynamic flow to it in terms of where it's positioning, where it's flowing towards. And I really like how it sits symmetrically under his right arm, so that when he's positioned to throw his batarang, the cape looks like it's flowing with it and a nice flow of movement, right? Now, as we take a closer look at his interchangeable ears, this statue does offer two-style display, but specifically only to his bat ears, right? Now, they're obviously a very similar look with just a slight variation in length. On the left side here, you have the short ears, which is a more modern feeling look, which is what you typically see more frequently nowadays. Whereas on the right-hand side, it's more of the long ear and more classic look. Both look great, in my opinion, to match the actual outfit, but I personally will probably go with the longer bat ears just because I like it to stand out more and because it's just a lot of good details here on the statue. I want his ears to stand out as much. Right? And again, it's not really a big additional accessory or interchangeable piece, but it's always good to have these options with your statues. right? Now looking more into the base and the Batarang details themselves, I really absolutely love the Gotham building gargoyle here, right? I really appreciate the sculpt details that they've been able to deliver on both the head and the wings, especially on the face overall, right? And how it's also molded seamlessly onto a building rooftop was done perfectly. The additional smoke effect is also really nice. I like how they added it in, feels more realistic. Overall the colors look good, especially from the rustic smoke pipes themselves. And you can actually tell the gargoyle looks like it's aged well, and that's been sitting on a rooftop for a while just from the coloring and the custom they've used here, right? Now in terms of Batarang, it's pretty standard to me. Black solid look, but I do like how they've molded it to fit great in his hand, so that's positioned to actually be thrown, right? Like if you look at it in real life perspective, it looks like this is where it would sit, and also very commonly seen in a lot of his comic book lores, right? So incredible details there. Now moving next onto Catwoman, she stands at about 14 inches. So if you purchase both of them, both Batman rather and Catwoman, and you put them next to each other, she will look like she's about several inches shorter. That's mainly because she's in her semi-kneeled pose here, which you can see. Now she also comes with a swappable accessory on her head sculpt, which we'll dive more into the video shortly. And also again comes with a larger 1/4 scale as well. But again, same details, same look, same everything. But generally speaking, she has an incredible feel to her, and I'm excited to essentially pick her up, and not just the pair next to Batman, but the overall sculpt of Catwoman here just looks amazing, right? In terms of her design, again, she does feature her classic look, right? And I love how they were able to add the details to her head sculpt, the face, and her actual head cowl, right? It looks wonderful, and all the details are on mark. And the leather outfit like itself looks amazing. I really like how it fits the body mold perfectly. I don't really see any misrepresenting areas, and has like a really snug look to it, which is good. The zipper line there also looks amazing. It really stays true to her sort of allure and sexy kind of thief look. So I really like how they've added this as well into the statue. And just the pose that she's in, right, guys? I mean, it's absolutely incredible. She's jumping over a building rooftop statue, which is awesome. And the positioning of her arms and legs are right where they should be. So kudos again to the designers here. And just overall, great look, great everything by Tweeterhead, right? Now, here's some nice detailed shots of her, right? You do get to see her paint applications more here. If you look at the black, it just looks amazing in terms of the reflection it gives and the shine it also provides to us when displayed. And, all her physical features are well highlighted throughout the piece as well, including her boots. So incredible amount of details on her costume, but the winged lion gargoyle is really where it's at here, right? Which we'll dive more into the video shortly. But one thing I would have liked for them to do is really add her whip to her hip. Right now, it's on a gargoyle statue, and you can kind of see it on the right side. I would have liked it to be more prominent, more like a nice accessory that she's holding, because it is common to her lore. Would have made for more dynamic and action-heavy pose as well. Nonetheless, a really nice range of highly detailed features, and again, such looks very lifelike, right? Now, again, in terms of our additional accessories for a head sculpt, these are goggles, not ears like Batman has. So in the comics, the goggles actually help her see different spectrums of light, allowing her to see security lights and motion sensors more easily. So I'm really glad that they added this in along with her whip, because these are very essential to her essential accessories to the character. Overall, I like this accessory better. It feels more prominent, more important to me, and something you can put on and off and have meaning to it. I really like the red color applications here. It's a little more flat, it doesn't have a lot of shading around the actual ends of the goggles, but overall looks good. You can also see that it could easily be taken on and off, which is also helpful because you don't want it to take you a while, or you don't want to hurt the statue by putting this on and removing it. So overall, great head sculpt accessory, and I'm sure it'll look great on different displays, right? Now, in terms of the base details, again, I really like the winged lion gargoyle here. It just has so many incredible details, looks lifelike, and unfortunately, you don't see a lot of these anymore in NYC, right? A lot of them were taken down throughout the years, but if you were around in the 80s and 90s, you would have seen this on a few buildings. But overall, this actual sculpt here has just so many incredible cuts on it. Weathered look, it's faded well. Just love the lion's face and how it's well sculpted here, along with the hair that goes and flows onto his wings. You can even see the grin that he's making right between his eyes as well. So excellent sculpting there on the statue. And again, you see the whip here. It looks great, realistic, sculpted very well. But I would have liked it to have been attached to her hip. But nevertheless, it's a great base here for Catwoman. Now, pre-ordering is live on Sideshow site now, and feel free to use the link below to help you get there if you need it. In terms of pricing, remember there are two scale statues for each one of these. So on the top left here for Batman, the 1/6 scale is $515, while the 1/4 scale shown here on the top left again goes for $705. For Catwoman, the 1/6 scale goes for about 520, while the 1/4 shown here on the bottom left goes for 655, right? Now, it's expected to ship around Q2 to Q3 of next year in 2025. And generally speaking, overall, this is a great pair of maquette statues to own. The price a little higher than standard statues, but that's just because they consider it to be more premium in terms of the design details and what they have to offer and look. And I kind of wish they came with at least one additional accessory, similar to my previous video with Iron Studios and Adam Warlock, that showcased that he comes with two interchangeable accessories, one for his hand and one for his long staff, which is nice. I would have liked Tweeterhead to have added an additional accessory here as well, but nevertheless, it's you can't hate on it because it's the statue himself came out very well. But again, overall great pieces, and they should really stand out very well in anyone's display, especially if you're looking to display as a premium DC superhero type of art, right? So there you have it, guys. Thanks for joining me today to explore the two new maquette statues coming soon from Tweeterhead and Collectibles. Are you a fan of either one of these statues? Let me know in the comments below. It really stands out to you, and if you plan on picking up either one of these, or maybe even both. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more content on the coolest superhero collectibles around. Until next time, folks, keep on collecting.